So, after all this time, it looks like Matt Lees has learned nothing, and unfortunately, I really hope that other people on the left have learned their lesson, because Matt Lees is a clear example of someone who hasn't. He recently wrote an article today on Gamergate and how it was the start of the Trump apocalypse, and it was the beginning of the alt-right. And I can't disagree with him more. As someone who supported Gamergate from, hey, we need to get rid of all this corporate collusion that was going on, and journalists who were giving, positive reviews and scores to projects they had kickstarted or people they knew who were running those types of projects, we won. We got the change we wanted. Gamergate won. It won flat out. Was there, abuse thrown? Yes, there was abuse thrown, but it was thrown at both sides. And anti-Gamergate can't admit it, but they were there, they were doing it. We knew there was, we all constantly said there was collusion going on to try and, destroy Gamergate. And oh look, Massive Log comes out, Games Journo Pros comes out, proving everything we said. At that point, we won. The problem, Matt, was that people like you refused to listen to us. A perfect example is a guy called B-Mask, who's part of the Cheshire Cat podcast. Right at the beginning of Gamergate, you went on your podcast, Matt, and laid into Gamergate how it was all this, anti-women movement. B-Mask didn't think that. He didn't like the fact that you were portraying him as someone who was a misogynist. He wrote out a 500, word plus response to your podcast on your YouTube page where it was posted. You literally hand-waved him away with a one comment of, "I'm not listening to a misogynist." And you're still at it. This entire article will do nothing to help you. It was because of people like you who didn't listen to these people, didn't listen to their concerns, who didn't go and engage and debate with them of their concerns. When, Milo Yiannopoulos came a-calling and listened to these people, listened to their concerns, took on board their stories and their things that they were doing and how they felt about it, they went right. And you lost them because you refused to do what Milo Yiannopoulos did, something you criticised him for. You say he's a terrible journalist. Well, right there, he just did an amazing journalistic point and won. And there are now people who went that way, who, after Gamergate had finished, saw what Breitbart was doing and what it was about, and left. And what did stay? I agree with you to that point. But Gamergate was a lesson. And it was a lesson about, even if you are on the left, even if you think someone's argument is deplorable, you should still listen to their concerns. If someone is saying, the source of all my problems is immigration, ask them. Ask them why. Get to the real source. Talk to them. Debate with them. Don't just hand-wave them away, as you've just, again, done in that long Guardian article. You've just gone, oh, it's all Gamergate's fault, they learned, all the alt-right learned from, Gamergate. I was a Gamergater. I don't support Trump. I don't support a lot of the stuff the alt-right's doing. I am not an alt-right member. I am, as I've said before, I am a Liberal Democrat, and I waver between, supporting Labour and Lib Dems. you know, that's the situation where you put us in, Matt. People like you put us in. We had no choice but to go to these people on the right because they were the only ones, surprisingly, who were fair enough to give us a fair shake and to represent us. No one on the left did that for us. No one. And that's the lesson you should be learning from Gamergate. That's the lesson you should be learning from the election of Trump. Because there were people in the middle who felt their concerns were not being addressed. And when you talk to them, instead of listening to them and debating with them, you turned around and just said, "Oh, you're a misogynist." And you drove them right into the arms of the right. I'm sorry, Matt, but if that's your takeaway from what you put in this article, then you've learned nothing from Gamergate, you've learned nothing from the election of Trump, and you are doomed to repeat yourself over and over until you learn the real lesson. And it's the lesson the left was the best at. Winning hearts and minds. Of going out, listening to people, engaging with them, and debating with them. And if you don't learn that, there is no hope for the left. I have awful hope for the left if that's what's going to happen.